That's. The United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thanks. Roll call.
Jenny David.
Here.
Roger Mayhew.
Yes.
Charles Wiltie.
Present.
Craig Scott.
Here.
Mark Serbrook.
Any additions or corrections, guys?
Not me.
Any additions or corrections, Commissioner Mayhew? Public comment in the room? Public comment on the phone? Appointments, 4A, reappointment to the Wellfans Board of Directors. That was on our iPads. I assume that was Rose Wall.
Yes.
Anything to add to that?
No,
Commissioner?
no, she wants to continue to serve her term.
What's a continuance?
Yeah,
Yes, yeah, Rose has been on the board
long time.
since she was a county commissioner, I believe.
This is for Commissioner Serbrook and Fabian. I know I had to leave earlier, but I think I heard the rest of the conversation of the transit meeting with my phone. There's nothing we wanted to add on the agenda. You guys didn't decide anything?
Not.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Thank you.
So Rose is just a continuation. She is also on the NEMSCA board. She's been on that a very long time as well.
No, NEMSCA.
Oh, she's not? She was.
So I've never seen her.
She was when I was on there.
Was she?
She continued that in the mental health. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, really?
Not on NEMSCA.
I guess so you have to draft a resolution for that?
Right.
Consideration of an application for appointment to the Wellfans Board of Directors. I seen there was 2 on there.
No, there's one.
There should,
I had a male and a female.
no, you're looking at the
No.
other
There's
ones
one
for
for the
housing.
housing advisory.
Well, I asked Fabian just prior to the meeting, I talked to Ken Schneltz last week after our meeting, he said his wife had applied for the Wellvance opening as well. Fabian's gonna double check, but he told me that she had put it and I didn't see her on there. And
Yeah, I have not seen the application yet,
so,
but I'll double check my.
This one looks like a highly candidate this year.
Yeah, who is
That-
this
Lee
person?
Thornton.
She is.
she's the librarian for the district, for the
Yeah.
Ogemaw District Library. She lives up Clear Lake, she's one of your.
Yeah, what's she applying for?
Position on Wellvance.
Well, that's,
The former clerk.
Gary resigned.
okay, but that's what Jenny was asking about. You got 2 appointments to Wellvance. We'd already talked about Rose,
Right,
now we're talking about her.
right.
Okay.
Ken Snell's wife, also, Ken told me last week that she had filled out the application for it.
Yeah, Rose is currently a member, she's just a Rio.
Yeah, I was
Red
looking
line.
at the appointment for the
Okay.
next one that we're gonna talk about. I thought that was Wellvance as well. It's the housing. So it was actually my error. I read through this lady's resume and she looks like she's very
Oh, yeah.
qualified, very active.
Yep.
She's been,
She's got 2 adult children now.
Oh, so-
yes, I read through that.
Receive services.
What do you wanna do? Do you wanna appoint? We wanna wait till we see that other resume. There's only room for one, correct?
Correct.
Right.
There's a deadline. Is there a deadline?
There's not really a deadline. We've got a meeting, next board meeting, is next Monday is coming Monday. So we wouldn't have made the appointment prior to that anyway.
What do you wanna do, Commissioner
If
Silver?
we can, I think if we could just hold off until the next committee of the whole, see if. I was hoping Ken was gonna be here tonight so I could
Verify that?
verify, but he did tell me last week that she had applied, so
Okay.
I don't know if it's was the cyberspace or
As long as-
as
As long
Fabian
as you're
says, when he comes in, he's got over 100+ emails.
It's not gonna negatively affect us for the.
No.
wetlands.
No.
Okay, we can hold off on that one. Item C, appointment to the Housing Advisory.
Okay, Jenny Hurley should have been part of the appointments at the organizational committee. I was not aware that she was on the housing committee already appointed prior, so she should have been reappointed. She was not on the list that we had in the files, and so at the housing advisory committee last week, they asked to have her reappointed.
Comment.
And so that's the story with Jenny.
Commissioner, what's?
Well, I'm co-chair of the housing, and
you know, we should have been more proactive. That'd be me in the chair of that to make sure that that was all correct. Jennifer has been a valuable asset to that board. She represents Rose City, is doing a lot of good things in Rose City. She was at her meeting last week. It was just a clerical error and mistake. But she's been an active member of that, and we'd like to see her continue on it.
Absolutely.
Well, application or whatever says, is there a specific designation or position for this board, and what position you seek to fill? Alternate representative for Rose City / Jenny Hurley. So is this guy asking for it to be an alternate?
Yes,
Is there a alternate position?
you've done alternates for other communities.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like for example, for the city, the alternate is the undersheriff, and the undersheriff was at our meeting last week.
Oh, okay. Well, then,
So does that mean when she's not able to make it, this gentleman will be?
Yes,
Oh, she's.
so we're voting to make him an alternate.
right.
She does not have an alternate now.
She needs to be reappointed
And then him
and then
added,
him appointed as an alternate for her.
Okay, that's easy enough.
And they're okay with this scenario?
that's what she wanted, yep.
Okay. Okay,
She asked.
item 5, discussion items, impact of the elimination of the penny. I seen Karen's email in there.
Just to make my taxes go down?
Well, it's something we need to talk about. It's happening.
Something we need to talk about before the pennies run out. You want me to come over in my?
Come on, no, come on up here.
Sure.
We might as well be proactive.
Good evening, Karen Bugleski, treasurer. Yes, just trying to be ahead of the game, proactive before the pennies do run out for our cash transactions here at the county and all of the departments that handle cash. How would you like us to proceed? There's no direction from Department of Treasury at this time, but my recommendation would be to round to the nearest nickel. You know,
They're jarred. Oh,
I talked to Judge Beebe
Yes.
before the meeting, and both of us are in agreement. We can't really do anything with this until we get direction from Scale in regard to courts.
do you have anything yet?
No.
Yeah, I don't have anything from Treasury either. I was just trying to get them to start. that
Thinking about it.
conversation. Yeah,
Yeah.
decisions don't need to be made right now.
Right,
You
no.
know, the penny hasn't been eliminated. They're not gonna
Make.
stamp anything of them out. I think pennies are gonna be in circulation for years and years to come. You know.
I do have a county in my map listserv who has run out of pennies. Just so you know, that's why I thought,
What?
maybe we should at least have this. conversation. Hmm?
They're hoarding pennies.
Yeah.
People hoarded pennies for years and years and years and years. Jars full of them at home myself.
I guess. It's gonna come down with some type of recommendation.
Or scale, someone, but I just wanted you to have that conversation, that thought in your mind that
It's
before
coming.
something happens,
Yeah.
let's be prepared and maybe work on a policy. So be thinking
Correct.
about what you would like to
Yep.
do. If
Yeah.
Greg, you get something from scale or I get something from treasury, we'll certainly share that with you.
Perfect.
Okay?
I think waiting for either Scale or Treasury to come with something and being consistent with it is the
And,
right direction to go.
I'm sorry, Vivian, I didn't mean to cut you off, but the city of West Ranch also reached out to me to see what we were doing so they could pattern after us.
Mhm.
And I said, well, we haven't talked about it yet, but we will be, it's already on our agenda, so. Just be thinking about it, okay?
Yep,
Thank you.
perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Review of HVAC proposals.
Yes, this is a project that you may remember from November. We got a quote. It was above the threshold for going out for RFPs, put together an RFP, sent it out to 10 different firms, posted it on the Builders Exchange. And we ended up getting one bid, which was the same bid we had back in November.
That was the same price too, wasn't it?
Yeah, same price.
5,100, isn't it?
Yeah.
5,100 bucks. Yeah, I guess comments, Commissioner Wiltie?
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about this for a while, and again, it's too bad that we're not seeing more bids. I really enjoy seeing a couple different estimates go off of no matter what I'm looking at, but we just did what we could and we're not seeing it, but I think we need to keep moving forward with this.
Commissioner Scott?
It says no, this proposal includes non-union labor, no allowance for prevailing wage. Are we gonna get stuck half and pay prevailing wage or not? Oh, okay, good then.
Commissioner Serbrook,
I'm fine with this. I'm glad we got at least one bid.
Commissioner Mayhew,
What?
huh?
Not in, which back.
The HVAC, we got a bid for $5,100 from, from Revito Heating and Cooling, is that was?
But Control Solutions Incorporated.
Control Solutions.
Yeah, it's terrible, we only get one bid, but.
For the heating and cooling,
Yep,
or
got
that one right there,
number-
$5,100.
Questions?
we gotta pay more, they're giving us some back.
One bid.
We have to pay more. $5,100 is the bid. Comments? We gotta do it. Okay. Review of Federal Transit Administration Master Agreement.
Tony should be online to speak to that issue.
Tony?
Hey, good evening, commissioners. So the FY 27 annual application for MDOT is here. So before you, I have the FY 27 resolution of intent along with my budget that I factored in for FY 27. The FY 27 state certifications and assurances and the master agreement provisions that will need to be signed off by the chairperson of the commissioners. So I brought it here before your guys' attention for your review and to see if there's any comment.
Changes, like, can you update us with changes?
Some changes, there was just a slight increase to our budget from FY 26. If you view the budget sheet, it'll show that under, let me see if I can find it here. You'll see that in the on the bottom right portion of the budget that's attached in your packet, the slight increase from FY 26 to 27. A majority of that, or if not all of that, is coming from our operational expenses.
So you, it went up a little,
70,000.
yeah. And look,
0.01%. Bad.
as far as reimbursement from the state and I was reading through this last night.
It's on the first page, I believe. The
Yeah.
resolution of intent shows estimated federal funds, state funds. local
Yeah.
funds, Starbucks.
Is that what you were anticipating?
So to factor the state and federal reimbursements, we're advised to go off of our current fiscal year percentages. Right now, we're sitting at 34.8841% from the state, which comes out to $406,992. And our federal operating won't necessarily change. And that's going to be sitting at 18% for $210,024. So we're looking at a little over 52% coming back from federal and state monies.
Comments, Commissioner Scott?
Do we have the funds for 27 matching funds?
Right now we do. Can I make a comment to?
Go ahead.
So basically if we would continue course right now with no millage in the near future, we would run out of money in 2 years.
End of 27.
Into 27.
End of fiscal year 27.
Into fiscal year 27.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That would be September 30th, 27.
Right, correct. And that's based on what's budgeted for this year and the estimates for.
Right.
27.
Okay.
Commissioner Serbrook?
Do it.
It's there for them, that's what needs to be spent for, but
And we had a transit meeting today. There's a lot of things in the works and things we're working on. And we obviously know that this is not comfortable and we have to look at every option possible right now to create sustainability for the Ogemaw County Transit. So there's a lot of things going on that you guys will be briefed on here shortly.
And again, this is a resolution of intent to apply.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else, Tony?
That's all for me.
Okay, thank you. Sitting of the
Static.
sighting of static display of combat equipment on the Ogemaw County parcel number. And the submittal of a letter requesting combat equipment. Seen it from LaDonna, was that?
Yes.
Yes.
This is from the Veterans Memorial Park committee, subcommittee. They are asking the board to pass the resolution and send a letter so that we could make a request for some type of combat equipment that could be on display in the memorial park that they're working on developing.
Comments, Commissioner Wiltie, you're on that committee, correct?
Correct, myself and Commissioner Serbrook. This is just, gives us the, opens up the door for the possibility of possibly a cannon or a tank or a Apache helicopter.
SR-71 Blackbird.
Or some kind of really sweet jet.
Yeah,
Battleship.
yeah, right.
I gotta give kudos for LaDonna for jumping on this. She really went.
Depends what we get. We're gonna, where we, across from the annex, the proposed park, depends what we get as to where do we place it. And there's a waiting list and equipment's not coming through for like 3+ years once you submit the requests. And, it could be a howitzer, it could be a tank, it could be something self-propelled, could be a old armored personnel carrier. We're not getting an aircraft, because then we'd have to have a pedestal, just something, it's a static ground display. It's not gonna be a jet fighter sitting up in the air or anything like that.
This is just formality,
Yep.
but LaDonna's really taking the lead on this, so
Doing a great job.
she goes after something, she goes after it.
Yep.
Item 5E, review of fiscal year 2025-2026 budget.
Okay, these are the budget amendments related to the first quarter. I don't know what your normal process is. Do you just want to ask questions, or you want me to walk them through anything? What?
Can you give us the highlights?
Majors.
Yeah.
Sure, the majors. Okay, the majors, starting with the general fund. Administrator's budget, primarily related to the hiring of me. We have some, increases in some of the line items, decreases in other line items. The other major issues in the general fund is, if I understand it correctly, you settled the contracts with the courts after you'd already established your budget. So we're doing budget amendments to set up budgets as a consequence of the wage increases that you gave. And then there was some changes in health insurance coverage. People going from 2-person to family. Some new employees that are replacing people that were on the payment in lieu. Now the replacement employee having insurance. And so those were the major items in the general fund, pages 1 and 2. Page 3 continues the update related to the court's contract being settled. You'll see for friend of the court, the wages going up as a result of the new contract. For the health department, you received a medical marijuana grant, and so we got the corresponding revenue and expenses going up there down in the bottom, the 6,500. Page 3, fleet insurance went up significantly this year, and so you'll see that increase for the road patrol millage fund. And you had some of the American Rescue Plan, projects that carried over into this year's budget. And so we're just setting up the, line item budgets for those projects on the bottom of page 4. On page 5, the top half of it related to indigent defense, council fund. When you did the budget, you did not have a grant, and so, he just established a placeholder, budget for that, and now that we have the grant, these, amendments are, consistent with the grant agreement that you got from the state for indigent defense. On the bottom, again, child care fund, that's a result of your union contracts being settled after the fact. On page 6, major item is the furnace installation out at the Veterans Office. 72,000. Page 7, we've got some increase in legal fees for the tax reversion fund, and but of course, corresponding increase in revenue to cover that. Some minor things out at the county park. Setting up a budget for the boiler replacement payment that was made this year for the county building. Page 8, major issues there were the setup of the 2025 tax receivable fund. That's just a routine item that happens every year as we start the new collection. In the building inspection department, we approved the scanner equipment, so we're just setting up the budget to take care of that. And then in the get insurance related to the fleet increase, and the grant that we did receive from the state ended up being higher than what was originally budgeted. Unless there's questions, that concludes the review of the budget.
Comments, questions?
I just would like to add, in regards to the indigent defense, Will Engelman is originally planned on being at this meeting to take him to bring everybody up to speed as to what's going on there. And I had conversation, or not, excuse me, not this meeting. Last, he wanted to be at a regular board meeting, and I explained to him, of course, where we were at with doing interviews for the new county administrator controller. And he thought it would probably be best just to come in after the new administrator controller is on board, explain it so that they're fully aware of what's going on and everything. So that's where that's at.
Comments, Commissioner Scott?
No, looks in order, right? You know, some things are expensive, but looks in order, yeah.
Commissioner Wiltie?
Nothing at this time.
Commissioner Mayo?
So what's it look like on our budget? Looks like the biggest share of stuff is increased.
Yeah, there has been things that have increased. We haven't really looked at items that could be cut at this point. It's kind of early in the year to be cutting anything significantly, but everything that the increase was either handled by revenue that was already budgeted higher than what your expenditures that were budgeted. That was the case in the general fund and in a couple of the other funds. And so I don't see it as being a step backwards in your goal of improving your financials.
Right, we're trying to stay ahead of this thing, and
Right.
all of them look like they went up to me. At the bottom of the page, everything increased. We didn't take, but there was enough in there to cover, is what
Right.
you're saying so
That's what
far.
I'm saying, yes. Yes.
And if it stays this way all year, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking that you're going to be in good shape financially.
Not gonna hurt us that bad.
No,
Part of the increases is because we settled those contracts, those union negotiations. after we had set the budget. So within the last 3 months, we settled them and those wage increases and things that were approved
Yeah,
is what
in,
you can really see.
when Tim did the budget, he didn't set it up in the individual departments, money for the. But the revenue that he had budgeted was higher than the expenditures, and so there was room left there to deal with them when there was a result.
They're offsetting.
That's why I'm not.
Right,
I'm
but
not
every one of
concerned
them's using it,
Yeah,
looks like to me. I mean, at the bottom of
Right.
the sheet, everybody's,
there, yes, there, the budgets.
but as
were
far as the
increased.
wages, they shouldn't, that's what we're gonna have till the next negotiation.
Right.
We knew they were coming back for the renegotiation. We knew that was coming.
Right.
Okay.
Like I said, the increases that you had approved versus what the revenue was budgeted. I feel comfortable that you can absorb those increases.
Commissioner Serbrook. Thanks, Fabian, for that. Thanks for the breakdown. This is pretty easy to interpret and read and I think we're staying on top of that. Karen, did you have anything to add to this? Commissioner comments, Commissioner Wiltie.
Comments, not reports. Just wanted to brief you guys, I believe we told you guys last week that we were gonna have another meeting coming up regarding bailiffs and court security. And that meeting is tomorrow morning, so we will have the majority of the bailiffs, court security, team members there. Myself, Commissioner Serbrook, Fabian, the sheriff, the undersheriff, and I believe Judge Bennett. But that will be tomorrow morning, so we had a meeting last week, because of the importance of this matter, the safety of our employees, safety of county residents, non-residents that come in and out of this building. We realize that there's a lot of work to be done, but it was a great meeting with the sheriff and the undersheriff, and we're going to continue to move forward with seeing where we can head with this. And tomorrow morning we'll be part of that forward progress. So I just wanted to let you guys know about
I
that.
could just add to that, I'd like to hats off to the undersheriff for what he developed and sent to us today. He's got a game plan laid out of discussion points that we're gonna have, so I think it's gonna be very, very productive.
The undersheriff put a lot of time
And
and
time and effort into it, so.
prep for tomorrow's meeting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to move this forward and bringing some stuff to you guys and really getting a stronger plan in place to make sure that we're keeping everybody safe in this building.
Commissioner Scott.
Well, I think we're doing pretty good for starting second quarter. Looking forward to next week's meeting. And that's about all I got right now, because everything's sailing along pretty good right now.
Commissioner Mayhew. Oh, I'm sorry, were you finished?
Yeah.
Commissioner Mayhew, Commissioner Serbrook.
Just that we, Tony and Colleen yesterday went up to the game refuge
Oh, good.
and got that pretty much squared away as best that they could. Unfortunately, they were without water up there for a while. I had actually turned the pump off and the hot water here, we told them, or this one how to turn it back on. They still didn't have water. I ended up going up there. At some point, there was a quarter turn valve in the line past the pressure pump or pressure tank. It was getting turned off, so we got that turned back on. But anyway, Orkin was up there as well for the pest control when I was there, so things are looking good there. I believe Commissioner Scott's gotten in contact with our new caretakers and let them know that everything's squared away. Colleen and Tony found a broken window in an entryway up there, so Craig got a hold of glass company to go up and repair the window, so we're not heating the outdoors.
I have a meeting I'm gonna attend tomorrow. Our Emmy, correspondent Lisa was a little reluctant to come to that next committee of the whole meeting, with all the commissioners along with a couple of funeral directors here. She was reluctant to have a public type of meeting, so we are meeting tomorrow morning. I wanted transparency and I wanted us all to hear all of the same information. But, so I guess we're going to instead meet tomorrow with two funeral directors, myself and, Lisa here, I believe, in the morning. So there will be more information to come on that. Hopefully we can, work everything out, and I will make sure you guys are aware of everything that is going on.
I'm just,
Go ahead.
so our meeting is in here tomorrow morning at 8, just so you
No,
know.
it's not till later.
And then, do we have a date yet where we think we're gonna get the audit, final back?
They're getting very close. Christy emailed me this week. They still have a couple of journal entries that they want to wrap up. But they were doing a run through on the audit report itself before giving me the final couple of entries. I suspect within the next week or so, we should have a draft copy,
Oh, nice.
which is earlier than what we normally get, so I'm very happy.
Way earlier.
Mhm.
Thank you, Karen. I appreciate that information.
Go ahead.
So Jenny, what you're talking about, medical examiner, is this unclaimed body thing?
Well, there's some, like, this has kind of brought up more conversation and some legal opinions, and that's what sparked the conversation. There's different interpretations of the, laws as far as from the funeral home standpoint and from our medical examiner standpoint. So as far as unclaimed bodies, who can transport, storage, I've had quite a bit of conversation with the funeral directors, and the new laws are really cracking down on them as far as transporting bodies. They're not legally able to transport a body until the family signs the body over to them.
Oh,
A couple different scenarios that's going to be brought up tomorrow, and again, this is different interpretation, so hopefully this can be hashed out sooner than later. But an example is, an unexpected death. A family member trying to make that decision where to go, cost, shock, they should have some time, whether it be 24 or 48 hours, whatever it may be, to gather some plans, to gather some information, to digest it, what just occurred versus having to make a immediate decision, because they have to make a decision before transportation can occur. The family needs to, especially again, if it's a unexpected situation,
mhm.
trying to make them type of decisions should not have to be made within a short period of time.
So it's more than just that, though.
Yeah, this has brought about more and more and more conversation. And again, you remember our previous one down in Saginaw, they had all of that set up. And then they used to also contract with McLaren for
Right.
storage. None of this has happened. So it's brought up more questions. So hopefully again tomorrow, everything will be hashed out. I'll bring it back to you guys. We're probably gonna have to change the policies, procedures, and make sure we have this taken care of.
Okay,
Because ultimately the county is responsible,
yeah.
so.
Hmm.
Before it escalates. Okay,
We know what can happen when that happens. We saw that.
previously, we're trying to, and again, that's why I wanted everybody here, roundtable discussion, but a little was uncomfortable, and I somewhat respect that. I didn't totally respect that. I wanted all the commissioners here to ask whatever questions came up, but I will get as much information. I have some questions wrote down, so I will bring them back to you guys, and I can hope that this will be quick and painless. So,
One other question.
yes.
Next week, if enough of us gather enough information, are we gonna be ready to make a motion to hire?
I think we need to talk about contracts. I don't think, I'm gonna say this, I don't think should happen what had happened with Fabian, and it was an offer was made and you came back with something different, and I think we need to do this correctly.
Let's be out of the room when you
That was
negotiate.
tough. I asked Chad about that after, but anyways, I think that
Do a lot.
I don't, we have somebody in place, so I don't see the urgency with it.
Okay.
I think we do need to move forward, but I think we also need to make sure we do this correctly.
Okay, he has a termination date for his agreement
Yeah.
with us right now.
What is that
And-
date?
And
March 31st.
Oh, we got tons of time. I mean, I think that's adequate time.
I asked him for an extension, but
Oh,
I thought.
He did an excellent job.
I thought a 24 month extension is what we got it, you know.
Scott, we need to make sure this was a learning curve. Tim was the first one in that position. We need to make sure our contracts got some changes to it that need to occur and some questions are answered, and we need to make sure this is better.
I'd like to make one comment.
Well,
Mr. Scott, you want to keep going?
oh, go ahead.
Well, I just want to say that I think we made a really good decision with our interim, and Fabian, thank you. I think you've worked really well with us, and you know, we got some big decisions to make here coming up, and I'm looking forward to the future.
Agreed. Just gotta make sure we do this correctly.
Related to that issue, you don't need to make a decision on it right now, but think about whether or not you want any overlap, with me and
Oh,
whoever
absolutely.
you select.
Sure.
Definitely.
And I think that's probably another reason why, you know, we don't want to rush anything, but we want to be somewhat aggressive, because I think some overlap is very, very valuable.
We need to make sure our legal team looks at the contract, and again, they're more familiar with this than we were, but we definitely ran into a lot of questions with our past.
When do we want to assign that to the legal?
Well, I think next week we have a meeting. I think the following week we have committee of the whole, and I think we need to talk about it then and make sure we're all on the same page and
I'm
start
not-
from there.
Another comment.
But
So, you know, we know what we've had since last Thursday for this meeting next Thursday. I'd like to do all we can right now so we can make an offer the week after we have this meet and greet next Thursday. I don't want to wait 2 weeks.
oh, I do.
Can we vote on that?
Well-
I don't want to.
Well, I'd really like, if we know that we have to start laying out a contract, I think we ought to get in touch with the legal team right now.
They can put a
Right now,
contract
let's-
together.
Start putting the framework of it together for sure.
Be
Yeah,
proactive on
No
that.
matter what name goes on it.
I don't disagree with that at all. Are you comfortable contacting Matt or?
Well,
nobody's on
Is
it
that-
now.
why don't I start with Chet, to see what his normal process is?
Okay.
If he's part of that, or,
Negotiation aspect?
yeah, the negotiation of the contract part of it, because if you're paying for it already.
We are.
Doesn't make sense to pay for it.
We are.
But there are some particulars that we
Once I
learned.
talk to him about that, what his role in that process is, then I feel comfortable contacting the attorneys.
I don't agree with moving, I don't disagree with moving forward, but we gotta make sure we do this correctly, guys, and we have somebody in place. We have time for overlap, but let's,
I just don't wanna take each idea that we have and wait another week to put it in. We already know that we'd like to have the exit strategy built in. We learned that.
Mhm.
We'd like to have clear defined benefit package
Mhm.
for just that position.
Mhm.
So, you know, there's already some outline ideas. Let's get these, we know that it takes these attorneys to a length of time to write things up.
oh, they're pretty quick response there, but we're also addressing some of that in the personnel committee
Well,
handbook.
okay. And we're still at that point where you want to do this overlap time too, so. I'm not saying that we gotta do it within a week or two, but we already got some good ideas what we want in the contract. And I think maybe Chet might have an idea on some things, but we've learned some things like the exit strategy for sure.
I think it would be.
And that was an issue 3 years ago.
Fabian,
I think it would be helpful for the attorneys if the commissioners could email me the items that you wanna
Okay.
see addressed.
and Matt was also part of the exit
Yeah.
strategy, so he's aware of the contract as well. They went through it. So the other thing that we had talked about was, and we can have this conversation now as far as working remotely. We got
Right.
different ideas on that.
Right, exactly.
So then that's also, that needs to be in the contract, in my opinion. Thoughts on that, Commissioner Serbrook?
I would agree, but I don't, again, I think we can definitely start the framework for that contract sooner than later.
Well, there's a contract
Yeah.
we have now.
We have
need
one
to
now
tweak it.
and we, exactly,
So we're not starting from scratch.
but with, there's some major changes. Again, the exit strategy, defining that compensation that employee is gonna, gonna receive. Not gonna follow XYZ contract or whatever the case may be. No, this is again specific to the administrative controller. These are the benefits that you get. You leave, you get, whatever payout we determine it to be. And, so like I said, I think we should, as soon as possible, as soon as Fabian touch bases with Chet and, find out what is included with what we're paying him for.
Right.
Then get with the attorneys and get it going to get the contract. Again, doesn't make any difference whose name's going on it. We've got, other than some side negotiation, probably it's gonna have to happen. There may be some changes that the candidate might want, or that we might want, but, I think we can get probably 95% of it done prior to us making an offer of employment.
Commissioner Mayhew?
I just believe we better have our stuff in a row before we get there. If it takes a week or two more, it don't matter.
We got some time,
We want.
but I agree with moving forward.
We
Commissioner
want
Scott?
I think
Right.
Commissioner Serbrook touched on it. This is a specific position. I don't think this position should be related to any other contract we have or even tie barred to any other employee that we have, because we have no other employee in the county structure that is a contractor / employee. And, I have a problem with the non-union people at-will people that we have working here already, because we've been for 50 years tie barring to these union contracts, and it's like, that is not fair. It is not business. And this position here is totally above that and needs to be isolated. It needs to be explained that it's isolated from that. And
Well, if you're gonna do that, you're gonna need to be specific on what benefits.
right,
offer that
exactly.
position. I mean,
Exactly.
For example, in Mason County, I was tie barred to the non-union employees as far as benefits. My wages obviously were negotiated with the board. So, you could do that. And I can tell you, in the personnel committee, they're looking at setting a separate set of benefits and work rules for the at-will employees, so that you can separate them from the various union.
So they're no longer tied barred to
Yeah.
those union
Very
contracts.
good input from the two non-union employees that were at that personnel committee. That's what our plan is, and there's more good input
Yeah.
going to be had on that, separating them,
But
spelling it out exactly, what their benefits, what their, vacation PTO, verbiage wise.
Well, it was kind of just like when Chet told us that the one candidate backed out because he went on the website and found out that we're a contribution.
defined contribution.
Everybody else defined contribution. We didn't even get a chance to say, let's interview you, and possibly you shine so well that we could give you a defined
Yeah. And
pension.
I don't see that as being a board fault. I think that's the employee, not, or not, shouldn't say the
The
employee,
candidate.
the candidate,
Not negotiating.
not,
Yeah,
looking at are there options like that?
right. But I want to convey the idea, the assumption that we can change or we can offer. And we're not tied to, so many people here, we've been tie barred to this union thing so long that everybody just assumes that we can't do anything else. or we won't do anything else.
I guess one thing to consider, the reason why I tie barred to non-union is I wanted to have a connection with the other employees. So that I was the first administrator. And so we were setting new ground. And I didn't want a situation where I came in where we were going to have to make cuts and serious decisions, and then I was considered something special. Because it's tough to get buy-in if you're telling somebody you're not gonna get as good a deal as you had in the past, but I'm gonna get a better deal. You know, and so.
You just wanna be the golden child.
Yeah, just something to think about. But if you're not gonna tie bar to the at-will employees, then you need to do some careful thinking about what you're willing to put in the contract for that particular person.
I think what Commissioner Scott's just trying to do is, we don't wanna be tied barred to union contract.
Oh, I agree with that
You
wholeheartedly.
know,
I
that's where
mentioned that
that's
before.
where the personnel policy's going in that direction.
Exactly.
It's
We're gonna
already,
sever,
it's already there.
yeah,
There's
sever,
draft.
sever those, yeah, draft 5, sever those. Sever that tie bar from union contracts. That's happened.
Well,
Mr. Mayhew, you had something.
I don't know this for, but my question is if we make him separate or her, all by themselves, we get a break on most of our stuff because we're a group.
Right?
Now, if we annihilate over here, everything's separate, this is a whole separate deal. When we go to the hospitalization and all the stuff that they offer.
Should still get the group rate, as far as the group rate. Yeah, I see what you're saying there. I think it should be with the at-will employees. As far, but you guys haven't seen.
You know what I'm
we're-
saying? If we put it
Yep.
here and then we have one
I see what you're saying.
instead of the.
Rate, as far as rates.
So, I mean, I don't know this,
Right.
but if we do this, we wanna make sure we do it
This-
right.
He or she would still be a county employee, so I understand your concern, but I don't think there is anything to worry about.
I think I'm really not talking about the group plans. And I think that any candidate coming in isn't gonna ask for a particular, a whole different health plan or anything like that outside of what we're doing. But it's the time off.
Yeah.
It's
It's everything.
we already have different time offs for the different damn unions now. And it's very confusing, but I just, Jenny, you brought up the working remotely subject, and that's exactly right. And we want to just define that. What is that? You know, that is an accepted method of working nowadays across the country. For some professions, not everything can be. Some jobs are hands-on no matter what.
A lot of people return to work. They were forced to. Yes.
Well, I think after what we saw there, after our last administrator left, we realized there were a lot of things that we really needed to get locked down, but I really appreciate this conversation we're having tonight because we might as well. We're here. It's the time to talk. It's early. I'd like to talk some more about this position. But in regards to that, I'd like to know what is this position and with how everyone here basically relies on questions and there's things that come up and who they need to talk to, the county administrator, the controller. I really feel that position needs to be almost 100% here in the building. I mean, there could be somewhere in there where there's from time to time, and it would have to be a tight parameters. There could be some at home, but I'm thinking 95, 97% of the time here in the office. This is a very important position that our taxpayers pay a lot of money for. And I think they need to be here in this building. I'm very adamant about that.
I'm gonna ditto your opinion there. I'm gonna disagree. A lot of people have been forced to return to work. I don't say, I guess, appreciate that, the previous position seemed to turn more and more and more remote. And we didn't have guidelines spelled out, so that's shame on us. I agree, I want somebody here. I think we need to spell out those guidelines. We're not here, that person is the go-to. And they are going to be paid a very good wage. And they are the individual that everybody goes to, so, they are there for them and for us, so I want them here.
Me too, day to day. Stuff that gets missed. If you miss it, it's 2 weeks. And some of that stuff can't be afforded to miss.
Well, I look at it,
Okay. Mr. Scott, go ahead.
I mean, and Mr. Sherbrooks was talking about the propane the other day. And I don't know if them people are gonna call us to get propane, if they're gonna get propane, just send us the bill or. But the day to day, we're not here. We have to have somebody that's just like Karen. She's got hers over there. When she tells this man here, he's supposed to remember that. If he's not here, it's no good. That's my thinking.
Mr. Scott,
well, I think we're building and building and building on one little idea. First of all, define what working remotely is, and then define what time can be allowed for it. I think everything I'm looking at on this screen right here doesn't have to be done. This whole page that I'm looking at does not have to be done here. This can be done remotely someplace. So if somebody's here focusing on everything that happens day to day, they can go someplace else afterwards and do all this. If remotely doesn't work, then I should just put this panel in a cabinet in this building and don't touch it until I come in this building and access this iPad. But I have this iPad as a commissioner, so I can work remotely. And I can read the minutes remotely. I can look over the agenda ahead of time remotely. So I think there is some things that can be done remotely so that a person can be here and do that. Now, I think it's two different things. What is remotely and how often would you use it? That's all I'm saying. Or you can just say, no, we don't allow anything remotely and that's all there is to it. Computer's in your office. You can't access it otherwise. I don't know,
Commissioner Serbrook,
but I like to talk about it.
Well, I think that there are times where allowing the individual, especially if they live out of the area, inclement weather. Let's say an individual has to take has a doctor's appointment or dental appointment where they need to take 3 hours, 4 hours. Let them work the other 3 or 4, whatever is left over remotely instead of having to, again, if it's dependent upon where they reside, an hour, hour and a half away. Okay, they've got, an hour to get here. Exception, not the rule. Very narrowly defined as to what we will allow them to work remotely, but I don't think we should discount the remote work altogether.
that comes down to this is a salaried position, it's not an hourly position.
Correct.
So, the scenarios you brought up, an individual is gonna be in this position, is just gonna be able to figure that out.
And
We just wanna make sure it's not being taken advantage of or abused, as it seemed to become more and more frequent in the past. Available by phone, what does that mean?
And again, when you have a salaried position there, you're gonna require that salaried individual work a minimum of 40 hours every week. The salaried position is to allow that employee some flexibility to work, 50 hours this week and 30 next week. Where do you,
A salary position does allow flexibility.
but some people don't see it that way. Some people see it, you have to work the minimum of 40. If you work 60, too bad. You're a salaried employee and that's what you were signing on for. So there's gotta be a give and take, I think. I don't think it's fair to say you're a salaried employee, but yet you have to do a minimum of 40 hours a week, or 35 or whatever it might be, you know?
Fabian, do you have an opinion on this?
I've always been old school. I come to the office. I've worked remotely a few times. Primarily, my remote was when I was on vacation or out sick. If something needed to be addressed, I addressed it. As far as if I was not in either one of those scenarios, I work better in the office. And so I would come into the office. It's like I said, very rarely. I work more remotely in the scenario that I am now over the last 3 months than I ever did in my 30 years with the county. So like I said, I'm old school. I work better in the office.
We have two department heads here. Do you guys have an opinion on where, how you would like the county administrator slash controller?
Personally, I agree with you. I think she needs to be on site, he or she on site as much as possible. But we do live in a new era where if this person that you hire is an hour or more away and the weather is bad, like we try to accommodate Fabian, I think there should be consideration for inclement weather ordinances to allow them to have access to the.
Oh, absolutely.
But certainly not a regular pattern.
I just think the issues. I think the issues that we previously had that need to be addressed are saying they're working remotely
Reporting of. Right,
with, I mean,
reporting of.
yeah, like you guys didn't.
You
approve
report it later on, or do you
Right.
report it today?
Like I would let you know, I'm not coming in, like my girls know I'm not coming in tomorrow. I don't ask them for approval, but like I get approval before it actually happens. Like I just think there needs to be some accountability
Better communicate.
from both sides, yeah. But I mean, there's so much, I work remotely all the time. There's so much stuff that they can do, but yes, they do need to be here.
And your position is very unique, both of you, because you're not obligated to be here at all.
Right.
You don't, there's nobody gonna fire you because you don't show up for 4 weeks in a row. Oh, yeah, I know, but you're both elected officials.
We don't.
You don't have to even be here.
Right.
Yeah, but you are, I know, I get it.
Fast forward. We had mentioned a potluck or appetizers or something. Did you want a potluck sheet routed to staff members to bring in?
So I've been working with Chet with that.
That heard something he supplied?
While we're starting the meeting early that day, there's, the only room available is the lunchroom.
For the meet and greet?
Yes. So
Is the annex room available?
could. I didn't ask them. It's off-site. That was the only, I didn't even think of it because it's off-site.
Better that it was here for people to meet.
Why is this one not available?
We started our meeting at 4.
Yeah.
So the. So
Right,
we have
we
the
had talked about
schedule.
doing like a 3 o'clock.
Well, they're
Yeah,
doing
appetizers or something.
whatever the schedule was.
Chet sent us out a
Yeah.
proposed schedule,
There was,
like a 2:30,
I
I
think
don't
two
remember.
thirty.
I wanna say
It
there
was-
was an overlap. There was like a half-hour overlap or something.
Who's in here then?
Meet
Us.
greets are together.
Us,
The meet and greets aren't together. We
They're
started
separate.
yeah.
4 o'clock.
I thought the meet and greets were prior.
All right,
2:30 and 3:30.
I've got- I got it right here, all right.
2:30 for.
Jody Holbrook, 2:30, meet and greet with county employees and elected officials. 3:30, tour of county government building and courthouse. 4:30, second round of interviews with commissioners. Then, so the meet and greet, she gets half an hour, then Rachel gets half an hour, or no, excuse me, an hour later at 3:30. So while Jody's doing the tour of the government and the courthouse, there's the meet and greet. And then at 4:30, she's getting the tour of the courthouse while we're doing our second round with Jody.
So there's a half hour.
And then at 5:30, we have our second round with Rachel.
So during the meet and greet times, this room is empty,
From
2:30 to 3 and 3:30 to 4.
the second meet and greet starts at 4.
I said Rachel. didn't I?
3:30 to 4:30, excuse me. 3:30 to 4:30. It starts at 4.
It's 3:30 to 4 o'clock, and 4 o'clock she takes the tour.
4:30 is the tour.
4:30 is the tour.
Really? Okay, all right.
And our second round interview was at 4:30 was Jody.
Figure this out so we can do this in here.
So
Yeah, that'd be nice.
just have Chet move them back a half hour, I would think.
Shorten up the meet and greets.
I don't think an hour, that's plenty.
Well, it's too much.
I think
think
half
so,
hour,
too.
half
Half
hour
hour.
is fine.
I agree, half hour.
Half hour is plenty.
Yeah, you guys can
Yeah, let's,
feel the waters on a half hour.
I
agree. Let's
totally agree.
stay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's too cold to be, not as many people will participate now. Let's do it
Right.
here.
Yeah, if we,
Staff members to bring in appetizers or something, or is it part of our?
Have it.
He provides the appetizers for the meet and greet.
Well, in that thing, it didn't say anything about it, so I just assumed he put that out the door.
Can we get those
No,
little
but
barbecue sausages, please?
What?
Those little barbecue sausages, please.
Are you gonna, you know what you should supply?
well, wait a minute, hey, let's
No.
check to see if
Lizards?
Yes.
Chet's gonna do it. If Chet isn't gonna do it, then
Call him tomorrow and I'll send you guys an email. I'll call Chet tomorrow. And then you're gonna touch,
We need to get something out to the staff.
Yeah.
If they have time to.
you're gonna touch base with
Just
Chet
need
on the
to-
contract for the county administrator and then we can move forward. We'll have more information on that too. Can you distribute that to us by email so we all continue to move forward and in questions and stuff you think of that you want in the contract, let's send to you as well. Okay, public comment. Any public comment in the room? Any public comment on the phone? No public comment on the phone? Motion to adjourn?
Yep.
Support?
yep.
Okay.
Never.
Let's cancel already for tomorrow, guys.
And she's